All right, welcome everyone. A new day, a new dawn, a new month, a new tournament. This is the December Tuesday night Swiss. We have 5 Tuesdays, so this is going to be a 5 round event, not just a 4 round event. I've been scoring pretty well in the middle section, but I have yet to win this section, which has been my goal from day one. I played 5 in a row, I believe, or maybe I played 4 in a row, and this is my fifth. Yeah, I think that sounds right. I think this is my 6th month playing classical chess. I won the U1500s in my first tournament ever, and then I followed it up with tanking my first time in the U1900s. And then the last 3 tournaments, I've scored above 50%, but I haven't exactly crushed it. I think the second month I was in the running for money. The third and fourth, I had a bad start, and then I won out basically. So so tonight, this November, we had a massive crowd. The chess club was filled to the brim. It was great. Whereas tonight, or at least December 2nd, December sign up is like half the amount, which is crazy. I will admit, I did look up who had signed up prior to arriving at the club. Tonight's like a wintry warning effect. It's like awful sleet. It's just kind of gross out. I like the cold. I like blizzards, but it wasn't even snow. Anyway, just like gloomy, doomy, think film noir, if you will. So my opponent is Glenn Ruggiero. Hopefully I said that right. He's like a bearded fella. I'm going to guess he's around my age. Who really knows? I talked to him a little bit before the game. He's mostly played online. These are his provisionals. And he joined last month. And he did okay. He went like 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, or something like that. Or maybe 3 wins, 1 loss. I don't know. He didn't win the tournament, but he did well enough where in his provisionals, he is bumping up to this tournament. Again, with only 4 games, you really have no idea what the rating is. I put him in as 15-10 because that's what Boylston is showing him right now. I think after his provisionals, he's like 13-10. But like the point is, he didn't beat everyone in the under section. All I really knew was a name and a rating. So I saw him at the board and I was like, okay, I should beat him. Like, let's go hard. But everyone when you show up plays their best, and oftentimes people can surprise you. So we'll see what this game has in store for all of you. That's the table. It's set. There's only 8 people in my section right now. There aren't any ringers as far as I can tell. So in other weeks, other months, I've always felt like there's definitely someone who's like definitely better than me at chess. Apologies to both Haley and Justin. I think watch these, and I like them both. Obviously, we're very comparable in skill. But this is the first month I look at the entries, and I'm like, all right, this is my tournament to win. Like, hell yeah. Like, let's go. I should be the favorite. Again, minor favorite, but at least there's nobody like, last month where I saw Severin Koenig, this like really strong FIDE player playing his provisionals, or, whatever. Ilya Blokhin, Ukrainian player. There's no like ringer who's basically playing down who will be significant favorite. Mike Brown's been playing up. I do think Mike is a little bit better than me, etc., etc., etc. I also have something on my sweatpants. I changed into them, and I have like, I don't know what this is. It's like tape on them. All right, well, I'll have to look at that later. I don't like stickiness. So, my opponent, he said online he actually plays mostly like classical format. Like, he literally plays 15 plus 10, which is a format I never play. You can only play that on Lee Chess. The slowest games I'll play is 10 plus 0, which is considered rapid. Even that's like a pretty fast game in all fairness. And it's not the format I love, nor is it the format I excel in. I like 5-0 Blitz best. It's definitely where I'm strongest. Anyway, I was going to do all this stuff about like ratings, about goals, but this is actually going to be a lengthy game. So I want to get into it. Also, I liked what I did last week, which is not show the analysis, but run it after. I have not run this through a computer. So all my analysis, like, I might be confused, I might be surprised, I might be pleasantly surprised, who knows. The cadence of this game, I decided I've been learning a new opening, I've been learning the Trumpowski, and lo and behold, he plays knight f6, which is what I need to kind of key off into it, so this is where we'll pick up the action. I was going to tell you guys, like, the emotions, the way I felt. I'll just give you a little spoiler. So bleep this out if you don't want to be spoiled at all. This game, I played a shaky opening because I wasn't sure what to do because I was playing a new opening for me. I thought I kind of blundered it up a little bit. I then fought back, and I actually won a pawn. I got some real solid play. The position gets very, very tactical, and I think I am fairly inaccurate. And then we get to an endgame where I get lucky. Now, does that mean I get lucky and win? Does that mean I get lucky and draw? Does that mean I get lucky and I still lose? All 3 are at play. So boom, you're not even spoiled. Anyway, I think I had leaked in other videos that I've been working on like the knight c3, but the truth is, I played it a bit online. It didn't get me anywhere. I wasn't really, like, most people play knight c3 just to transpose into other openings that they like. and I don't I don't like the main transpositions. The gambit lines are kind of like not iffy. They're just not that great, and there's not that much educational material online about it because it's such a rarely played opening. So I think I'm going to put that on hold. It wasn't really getting me anywhere. Instead, what I realized is there's a ton of D4 openings that I've kind of avoided. Like I've been playing more Catalan. I've been playing obviously simple QGA, QGD, and I've been looking at the Trumpowski, and it's like a very fun opening. There's not a lot of theory, and it's more attacking, and I'm trying to play more attacking games. So I've been learning it, and I'm thrilled because online, when I've been trying to play it, almost no one's going knight f6 against me now. Now everyone's playing, d5, so I'm just going into the Queen's Gambit. But Glenn goes right into it. So immediately I'm like, I'm going to Trumpowski attack his ass. The Tory attack. Let's go. Now, for the record, the best computer move is h6. I know that. The move that I've drilled the most because it's the most fun is knight e4. It's where I like retreating to bishop f4. And that's fun stuff. I like that best. And then the two most common lines in Grandmaster play is d5 and c5, and I know what to do. So I consider myself pretty booked. When I know like the full responses a few moves out, I know the basic theory, I'm like, this is great. I'm blitzing. I get to the board against not the crowd. I have my seltzer. Glenn looks at it and he does like the, oh my god, why is this dude playing this? And then he plays g6, and I'm like, fuck, man. This is not a move I've looked at all yet. He told me after the game that apparently this is what Gotham Chess recommends, which is interesting because I don't think it's great, but I was annoyed because already in move 3 I'm like out of book, and this is obviously, if this is what Gotham Chess recommends, this is something I'm gonna have to look up. So I started thinking, and I'm like, all right, like the basic idea is sometimes you want to trade, mess up their pawns. If he wants like a Nimzo, that's what he's kind of going for. Then I can get him already like out of comfort. One big advantage of the Trumpowski is immediately it introduces imbalance. And I thought my plan could be pretty simple. I could basically trade, whoopsies. Oh my god, arrows always plague me. Alright, whatever. You guys get the gist. Anyway, I wanted to develop my knight, free up my queen, and then queenside castle. And like that's kind of how you're going. You're YOLOing. So I just like shrug and I'm like, okay. I'll stop you all when I get to a critical point, a decision point. I'll also get to the point where I'm like start thinking of candidate moves. Here I'm just thinking of like opening theory. Obviously, theory-wise, I know like giving up your bishop for the knight early to double these pawns it's not considered like a win. It's whatever. It's just imbalance and it's fine. But yeah, I mean again, as you guys can tell, I gave up my bishop and he has double f pawns now. So all right. My goal is either to attack the pawn or get play, along the h-file, get a nice queenside castle, maybe throw things down the e-file, just kind of jamboree, whatever. I'm trying to play more attacking chess. That's kind of the gist here. He responds with, well, he took, of course. And I just go into my normal developing moves. Knight c3 is always good. My long-term thinking, of course, was that, like, obviously if I can go to d5, to f6, that's immediately, thinking of some family forks. I figured his most likely move would be just fianchetto. Thank you. Mm-hmm. We just go from there. I'm not thinking that long. He's actually thinking a lot in the opening. For the record, this game I got a big time advantage, and then towards the end, it started getting much closer. He finished the game with like 30 seconds, maybe less, almost flagging, and I finished the game with like 9 minutes, maybe 10. We were maybe the last board to finish. We really, really got very, very low. So, again, I don't think that's much of a spoiler. He plays bishop g7, which I'm pretty sure, like, these moves are fine, but I also don't think that they're necessarily his best moves, but it's the opening, and I don't really know how to, like, absolutely, crit it. I'm also always thinking of these jumps, target the c-pawn, and a lot of lines, I don't really want to play c4, because I wanted to queenside castle, so that's why I didn't look for the early c4, for the record. That's why I was pretty comfortable putting my knight on c3. And yeah, I'm trying to follow like the basic principles before I think too long. So I realized that he's giving me the center. I can just play e4. It's supported by the knight, so let's play e4. And boom, my idea is get my queen out, castle, and probably play like an f4 and literally just try to YOLO on his ass, I always assume, because these Ninja players, they play the systems player. He's going to be building this setup. He doesn't get his ideal situation because he does have this pawn. And my thinking is if he ever tries to relieve the pressure, once I played e5, I would just play, once he plays e takes f6, that I would play e5 and I would have this pawn wall staring at his bishop. And I thought that from the opening he wanted to play a Nimzo. He's kind of getting a bad version of a Nimzo Indian. So that's at least what I was kind of calculating, what I was thinking. Anyway, when this is played, although I want to develop my queen, I thought the best move for sure was bishop c4. The reason why is look at what a freaking beast this piece is. I can always like retreat it, kind of dingle-dongle. His f-pawn is weak. If I can ever push and kind of get pressure on this f-file, that's maybe where I saw the win down the road happening. It just looked like a very natural move. I didn't think too long. Fair enough. He played rook e8, which, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it was the best move. I really think he should be getting his minor pieces in the game first. But I don't really know how to pressure him. I know that pushing right now doesn't work. He just takes. I considered an f4 with the idea of an e5. And I really considered some janky lines, like knight g to e2, with then the idea of f4. Just try to immediately attack, kind of punish the fact that he's not developed. But then I said, all right, Rob, hold your horses. It's a classical game. It's not bullet. We're not trying to blitz him down. He's castled. Let's just get my pieces out. How bad can this be? And I said I probably want to move my queen so I can castle. And this is where I think I made an inaccuracy. So I'm gonna show you the move I played, which is queen to d3. And my thinking was twofold. First off, I have long form ideas of drawing my bishop back, putting my queen on c4, and just staring down a potential mate. That's number one. Number two, I thought that the queen would be useful as another defender on the e4 pawn, given he's exposing his rook. Okay. Number three, there are some lines, I told him this after the game, some common defensive ideas, where they go h5, king h7, and then bishop h6. And in those lines, I don't want my queen on d2, because then when I castle, whoa, that becomes a skewer, and I would lose the game, where the bishop skewers the queen onto the king. And all that happens in blitz enough that I thought that's why queen to d3 makes more sense. In retrospect, I wish I went queen d2. For the record, you guys will see why. It probably has something to do with, when he's able to take this pawn. When my queen's on d3, it will immediately be attacked, whereas if it was already on d2, it would not be. So I'm going to just file this away for, look at that during the analysis, because we'll see if my thought processes are right or my thought processes are wrong. Nonetheless, again, moving kind of fast at this point because these all feel very natural. He then plays knight c6, and I do my first thing. And the truth is, I really should have castled. I really need to break the rook off of my king, but I thought if I castled, I was worried about knight to a5. And I thought if he played knight a5, this is my best piece, my light square bishop. I've already given away my dark square, but I can attack the light squares. He doesn't have the rook on f8, so this f-pawn is a major weakness. And if I just castle, he can play the knight to a5. By the way, he did say he was thinking about that after the game. And obviously, if I move to d5, he can then chase it with c6. Eventually, I'm going to have to draw it back to b3. He's going to trade, I'm going to take, and honestly, I think I'm worse there because he'd have the bishop pair. I wouldn't have any bishops, and I wouldn't really be able to make use of these weaknesses. So I thought to myself, shit, I probably need to stop that. That was my thought process. So I said, what moves actually stop that? And I said, well, if I castle, he can do it. If I push, I'm also blocking my bishop. That doesn't do it. And I said, oh man, this is kind of rough. I also thought if I ignore, he also might have a knight to b4 jump with the idea of hitting my queen and hitting this fork. I would probably have to just draw it back to d2, which again is why I wish it was on d2 to begin with, for the record. Or I'd have to drop to e2, and then it would once again be on the same file as my king and the rook. So I thought the only move that addressed all of those concerns was a3. And I thought now if he slides the knight to a5, I would retreat all the way to a2 and be like, Borat, la 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 la, you'll never get this. And I would still maintain my threat of sliding my queen over at some point. I also thought maybe by playing a3, I might have some b4 ideas at some point, and maybe I even change course and attack on the queen side. So that's what I played. I thought it was the best move for all the reasons I mentioned, but I do think the fact that my queen is on the wrong square is actually hurting me quite a bit. And the reason why is, and by the way, I didn't think f5 worked, because when I was calculating, I always thought I had e5. However, to my surprise, and When he played this move, I was like, oh, actually, maybe this Glenn guy is pretty decent. He plays f5. My immediate reaction, just nailed on the board, was e5, but then I said, let's slow down, Rob. Like, this looks like we're not in the opening anymore. We've got some pieces out. This actually might seem like the first critical juncture. And I had used, like, no time up to this point, and I spent a solid 10 minutes on this move. Maybe 8 minutes. But the reason why, I realized if I push, he has the sacrifice. Bishop takes. At least this is what I calculated. Well, here, I'll show you what I played first, and then I'm going to go through the lines at least as I calculated. Again, I have not looked at anything. I played knight g to e2. And the reason why is I obviously can't take the pawn because I'm pinned. Yeah, this is what I saw. I saw e5, bishop takes on e5. And obviously, like, I have to take because otherwise he has this discovery anyway. This is pretty brutal. But then as soon as I take with my pawn, he can go knight takes, forking my bishop and my queen. I would move my queen out of the way. And then as soon as he takes my bishop, oh man, I am checked by the rook. This is a disaster. I mean, I move here. He actually has another check anyway, if he wants it, or he can just retreat. And in this setup, he's already up 2 pawns. So that's what I calculated why like e5 doesn't work. And so I got kind of nervous. Now I'm going to sing Cake, nervous and wait, they wait for the turn. The powers is potent and secretly stirred. As the seats go empty, except for one man. Anyway, I then calculated also just simply castling, kind of accepting the pawn. But I realized, obviously the d-pawn is under duress. He doesn't even have to still take here. He has this move, and I thought this was strong as well. With the idea of basically retreating to e6, and then this hope, this aggression is also dead. So I didn't really see any other move other than knight g to e2. The idea is I'm reinforcing the d-pawn, and I thought, and now we're on the next move, and already I'm like, a little bit out of book or so, because he of course takes. I think it's his best move. I told him he took for a while. My first instinct was to take back, thinking, of course, he doesn't have anything here, and I'd be able to re-support my knight with my knight. But then I thought that, oh shit, if I move my knight to take, he then has d5, forking my pieces, and man, I might be in a lot of trouble. So I realized, and I calculated on his time, so I spent 0 time moving, and I moved my queen to d2. And on move 10, this is where I realized, like, shit, I wish I had it on d2 all along. This is learning the Trumpowski. I don't think I'm going to make that mistake again. Learning. I did think that this pawn is going to be a weakness, and although he's up a pawn, it didn't feel that bad, because he can never play f5. Again, because of my powerful bishop, he'd have to, like, break the pin. And I thought then I would be able to win back this pawn. So I thought I spoiled the opening advantage. This is what I mentioned in the beginning for all those reasons. Just to show it on the board real quick, I played queen d2, but if I was to take, he would then blast d5, and I just think I'm lost here. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any way of even making anything interesting if this landed the board. Like, this would just be, the goose would proverbially be cooked. By the way, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. So, once I play queen d2, he kind of thinks for a while, and I think at this point he doesn't know what to do, because he kind of realizes, like, he must be already equalized, if not slightly better. He has a weakness, and that's a really terrible light square bishop. He plays a move that I don't think is good. Maybe it is, but he plays a6. He told me his idea was to pawn storm, to play b4, and that way he'd get his bishop out on b7. I just didn't think it worked. I thought it was slow. And I thought that he's immediately ceding this pawn. Like, he's not even trying to hold it. And so my first instinct was, oh shit, like, let's just castle. Let's break any of these shenanigans. I still have a very strong diagonal. I think if I can, like, ever swing my knight, I'll be able to pick this back up. Obviously, maybe at the right time, I have d5. I was also looking at knight d5. With the idea if he ever, like, leaves his queen, I will then have this fork on c7. I also saw from that square, again, if I can ever open up the f-file, I have these f6 forking ideas as well. So I'm looking at all those, like, tactically, like, how to set that up. And I thought the best way to do it is just simply to castle, kind of get my queen and king, out of dodge. And the reason why is because I calculated this. He plays b5. He told me he hoped that I would play to a2. And I did think that I had that all along. But I saw something better. And that's bishop to d5. And as soon as this happened, it went from I went from like the thinking of, oh damn, I messed up the opening a little bit. Okay, the whole thought processes went like this. In the opening, like, damn, he played a move that I haven't studied. Oh shoot, I messed up a little bit. Oh, what a relief! I think I'm better again. And the reason I'm better is I have this fantastic pin. This rook is looking rather sad. He doesn't really ever have the option to push because I can just take. Again, he's not really threatening to take that back because then, whoopsie, he'd lose a rook. And immediately I'm cobbling down. I'm bearing down on the e-pawn. I have 2 attackers. He only has 1 defender. Again, he can never play f5 because I'm pinning that pawn. That is his weakness. So I thought that like I immediately win back the pawn, and I'm more active, and he's got a weakness of like a poorly developed bishop, and his pawn structure is starting to be a little bit Swiss cheesy. So I thought immediately, and we'll see what the computer says. I thought immediately here I was a little bit better, and I finally got excited, and I'm also moving a lot faster than him because he is taking his sweet ass time. All right. In response, I mean, he realizes kind of the problems, and I thought he played a great move here. And I'm curious what the computer says. I thought that he would just develop, right? And then I thought basically I would take it. I wasn't sure what to take with. I was looking at both bishop takes and knight takes, and I actually thought I was going to take with a bishop. And the reason why is I thought I would actually play this diagonal and kind of threaten the a8 square. And once I retreated, I thought that actually jumping to d5 with my knight would make a lot of sense because then I am targeting the f6 square. So just for the record, that's what I was going to do. Instead, he plays e3, and I thought this was like, again, this guy has only played a couple classical games, but like I think this is a high value move because he's losing the pawn either way, but obviously I can never take with the queen, he just wins it. And I saw that, and I know I had to immediately take with the f-pawn, is because he's got this pressure. Now, for the record, I calculated, he didn't see this in advance. We talked about this after the game. I did see this right away. I just didn't see anything better, which is he pins the pawn. Looks like, shit, if I lose that pawn, then the game's over. But I played the only move that I thought I had, which is knight f4. And it's not really what I want. This knight is, stuck. He doesn't have an easy way of putting more pressure on it. I thought that he could maybe play at the right time queen to f6. It's a move I suggested to him after the fact. Just kind of trying to take this file. But then I would swing the rook underneath. I don't know. It definitely would become interesting. Nonetheless, when we reach this position, I played knight f4 pretty quickly. I didn't think I had any of the moves. He tanks for like 20 minutes. And the reason why is his plan's not so clear. He's got a very awkward knight. For my money, I think this is the wrong move. So I'm kind of curious if I'm dead wrong. But he plays rook b8. And it kind of makes sense. He can't move this pawn because then he loses the knight. Maybe he's supposed to just move the bishop first. I don't know. I thought he should move the bishop and just play out to like to a5. Basically force pieces off in the middle. That's what I thought he should do. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? That's what I think is the better move. But basically, because you need to get your queen active. Because although he's got some interesting pins, his pieces are less active than mine, and I have the bigger threat. So I did think that I was just better here. Nonetheless, when he plays rook b8, I need to do more calculations, and so I do. Obviously, my dream is to get inside to f7. Right now, he's attacking the e-pawn. He's going to attack it again, and if he moves his queen, finally, he's going to attack it again. I thought I wanted to get my rooks out. I know he might have some sacrifices, obviously, opening up on my queen and king as they are skewered. I wasn't sure I wanted to play king b1. It's a typical idea, but his pawn's so pushed that I thought if he then pushes and I then take, obviously I'd have to respond because he'd be attacking my knight. I would give him an open line on my king, and I thought that was actually kind of dangerous. So I didn't really love my options here. And for the record, I played queen to f2. My idea was I'm breaking this nonsense. I'm potentially opening up on f7, and it does mean it got the option of taking back the knight with my queen if he was to trade his bishop, which has become very active now from the fianchetto position. And again, my plan is pretty clear-cut. Originally, I wanted to pawn storm myself. Unfortunately, it always felt too slow. Like I never felt like I was had enough time to actually get the pawns rolling, which means either it's not that good or I missed an opportunity. It's always one of those two things. All right. For the record, I'm just trying to think of the other candidate moves I was thinking here. I actually was considering. I was looking at knight e4 here with the idea of redirecting it to c5. It just seems like a very nice bastion, if you will. If he ever basically pushes, he's basically making weaknesses for himself, and he's giving me basically good jumps and whatnot. Oh, and I was considering rook h to f1. My thinking is I thought I wanted my d rook on the e file and my h rook on the f file. That's what I thought I wanted this game, but I wasn't sure, for the record. All right, but anyway, so I settle on queen f2. It felt pretty pleasant to me, and my guy plays queen e7, which makes sense. He's trying to bear down on the e pawn. He's now attacking it a few times, only defending it once. I have to respond to that. And this is where I do a deep think. So this is the first what I thought was critical decision of the game. And let me walk you through my thought process. Number one, he might have some funny sacrifices with knight takes on d4. If I move my rook over, again, getting my rooks these setups, maybe. Then maybe I would take, I kind of open up on his queen. I'm not sure. It looked viable, especially because it's no longer pinned. So I thought that I kind of wanted to keep an eye on the d-pawn. I also need to defend the e-pawn. Like, again, my first instinct was just sliding my rook over, or my h-rook over to the e-file. I also considered pushing, but I didn't love e4, because I worried if he could ever get c6 in, that I'm actually getting crunched, and, I don't know, maybe that's problematic. Plus, I'd be losing the defender on the f-knight. Meaning I would only do that if I could have my king over. So it looked positionally like maybe it didn't really work. But it's something I looked at. I looked at e4 here. And the other move I looked at was... Uh-oh, you guys know what I just did there, don't you? Yeah. Sebastian's playing. All right. It is what it is. We're going to have to go through, and I'll just add my proper stuff later. The other stuff I was considering over here, all right, I didn't show the move I played, was h to e, but then I thought I was giving up the f file. So I found what I thought was clever, because I looked at if he pushes, how am I going to respond? And I thought that actually it would be nice to move the d rook to give my knight another square. If I move to d1, I'd be blocking up the b2 and the e3, kind of full defense. And so I thought I found a very clever move, which is I play rook d3, and I played it. I'm defending this pawn, I'm defending this pawn, and if he pushes, I'm able to basically move my knight back to d1, where I grip everything. I still have the time, because again, I don't necessarily need this piece in the attack, because that's my whole idea. And if he opens up in front of my king, I can always just slide my rook over, and I'm fine. He has nothing. So I play rook d3, and he, sure, lo and behold, plays b4. I can't take, because then he takes, and he's hitting both my bish and my rook. I don't like that at all. So I play knight d1. And I play this move too fast. What I realized when I played knight to d1 is I should have given more consideration here to knight e4. And the idea is if he takes, I would actually take back with the pawn, because then he doesn't have this jump. Because in the other line, where if he takes with the rook and then I play the, then he takes with the pawn. If I take with the rook, then he would have knight to b4, hitting my bishop, and when I have to leave, down here, now he would just win a free piece and with it the game. So I did see that I had that as an option. So I did see that stuff, for the record. Yeah, so but I really moved too fast, and I moved knight to d1. I also wondered if I had knight a4, the idea, again, of bringing it to c5, with the same thinking, that basically I'm attacking a lot of squares, kind of around his king, and if he ever pushes, then basically I can just, like, rewind it or so. And all that felt like reasonable to me. So those were all the jumps I was calculating. Nonetheless, that is not what happened. I played my knight to d1, and he takes. And I did think for a while. I checked with the rook, and I actually am going to make a bet that I think pawn takes would be better. That's my guess. I think pawn takes would be better. But whatever. I didn't do that. So instead I go rook takes, and we reach this position, and I thought, you know, I have a wooden shield. This is an outstanding bishop. He's got a bad bishop. It literally has no scope. I have an open f-file where I can basically swing some attack. And I have all my squares defended. And the a-pawn's going to be weak. So I thought I must be better here. Like, not that I'm winning or anything, but white surely has an advantage here. So that's what I thought, anyway. Yeah, I mean, who knows? When I play rook takes a3, he now plays bishop b7. He's trying to break the pin. He's trying to get his piece active. It's his worst piece. He needs to improve upon it. It's a logical move. And now I teeter between two moves. I end up playing rook f1, thinking in all the lines I want to hit the f-pawn. But I actually was torn between that move and bishop c4 with the idea that he doesn't have any of these like awkward sacrifices or potential tactics to like open up. My whole thinking here is I wanted to basically go bishop c4 with the idea of knight c5, hitting the queen, and then when he moves, I can nail this fork on f6. Yeah, he'd like move up, and then I would take his rook, and he would take, and I'd just be up in exchange for nothing, and I think I'd be winning there too. So I played, I think I played an inaccurate move with rook f1. I thought I always wanted it here. I also thought it made sense to kind of avoid putting it on h1 in case his bishop ever opens up to the h1 square. So that's kind of the long-winded thought process. By the way, at this point, I'm up like, he's down below 30 minutes after knight moves, and I'm over an hour. So for the record, that's the time disparity, but that's going to close really quickly. And the reason why is because when I play rook to f1, he plays knight b4, and I realize I starred this move on my score sheet. This is the critical move of the game. I spent more than 20 minutes. I had an hour and 4 when I started this move, and I finished it at around 42 minutes. So because the reason why is I thought that there were just so many moves here. I had no idea what the best move was. No idea. Obviously, he's attacking my bishop. So I got to do something about that. So let me walk you through all my candidate moves, because oh boy, there are so many. I'll start with what I played. So after a long think, I dropped my bishop to c4. And I spent a long time calculating. This was the first move I wanted to play. Knight takes on g6. And the reason why is I'm attacking his queen. He has to take back with the pawn. I then calculated bishop takes. I assumed he would not, go inside to the f file. I thought that he would basically move most likely to h7. I would then take. I assumed he would then go rook takes on e8, and I looked at this position. I'm gonna let you guys in on the honest truth. I had no idea how to analyze this. I have no idea if I'm better. I also saw that if he moved to h8, it would be very similar, where I would take, he would take, and then I would potentially have queen takes over here. He would take, and then I would take with the rook. And I saw all this, and immediately hitting the g-pawn, so if he was to go bishop takes on g2, I would basically take on g6, hitting his bishop. And I thought that this was good for me, but I didn't know. I just didn't know. It was calculating far out. I was envisioning this position. Again, just to show you how deep I calculated, because I did calculate this deeply. And then I kind of wondered, what was best play. I thought maybe something like this, hitting my... no, wait, excuse me. Oh, shit! No, I should have calculated that, because then I'm hitting both bishops in that line. So he can't take the pawn over here. Maybe he's supposed to play here, bishop e4, protecting and attacking. I don't know, I do something like here, attacking and defending. I don't know. Anyway, this is as far out as I got, and again, I spent a long time on this move because I just really wasn't sure. As you guys can tell, it was just a really difficult position to really even think about. So I calculated knight takes. I calculated bishop c4. I calculated trading. He would take back, and I thought in that line I would have c3. With the idea that he doesn't have this move. He would have to basically, because I am defending, he would then take, and then I would take. This is on pre. This is hanging. Hey, little guy. I don't know, let's just say he let's say he moves over here. I wasn't sure if this was good for me or not, to be honest. I had no idea. Maybe I would swing my rook in. I'm still attacking this pawn. I just didn't know. I didn't think that was good for me, for the record, which is why I didn't trade. I thought that this piece was better than this piece. And I did see that if I was to, let's say, go back to b3, cutting my rook off, that all of a sudden e3 becomes a big target again. If he, at the moment it doesn't quite work. Just like takes, because again, my knight is a Superman. But my rook is really out of play. I've now opened up his bishop, and I'm not so sure I like that. So I saw that as well. So I played my move thinking that, of course, he was going to slam e5, and I thought I could, and basically I calculated, I thought I could go to e2 with the idea of rerouting, maybe redeveloping, but especially if he played e5, I would then basically be able to target it with a slow c3, and then once I bounce his knight, if I can ever basically either gobble up that e-pawn or land my knight there, that I would be winning. So that's why, long-winded story, why I did play this move, bishop c4. To my surprise, I assumed he was going to just play d5 immediately, which I thought was the best move, but instead he plays not that. He plays bishop e4 first. And I had just done a 22-minute think, and I used another 15 minutes here. I got below, I was like at 28 minutes, 27 minutes, and it's because it felt so important. And obviously he's attacking c2, and he's defending d5. I can't jump in there. If I could ever bounce his knight and he has to retreat, then I'm winning. If I can land d5, and he has to go trade, I'm hitting the pawn. I'm going to, fork him. If I then trade the bishop for the knight, I'm still going to fork him because I have the fork on f6. So in this position, I played c3 after like 15 minutes. And the reason why is I calculated everything I could. I calculated moving my knight to d3. And I thought this wasn't anything special for me. I thought we basically got a position kind of like this. Yeah, I didn't think this was very good for me. This is what I calculated. After all these trades, where I'd have the double pawns, his rooks would be more active than mine. So I didn't like that move. I probably would play, probably would play king d2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm down a pawn there, for the record. So I didn't like that move of retreating my my knight. Yeah, I didn't like that. I calculated rook c3. I didn't know if this was good or not. He doesn't even have to take right away, but I thought, once again, if we take everything, I probably, I don't know, something like this. Queen in, pawn up. And this didn't look great, but maybe if I ever can, move my knight and opening up, I don't know, something like this. Anyway, after all the calculation, I thought I could play c3, and I did. And the reason why is there's no longer a pawn on c2, and I was very worried about knight c2 moves. But I thought if knight c2 occurred, I'd be able to hit him with the knight d5, attacking his queen. He would take, I would take, and then when he takes my rook, I would actually take the pawn, winning back the rook. And if he takes my bishop, I would take his knight. And that's what I calculated. Also, very obviously, he's trying to fork me on d3 to hit my queen and my king. Excuse me, my king and my queen, respectively. But I saw, because I'm attacking it, if he ever sacrifices, because this knight is a big defender, I could just trade. And that's the line we went into. So I finally played c3. He took on f4. Obviously, if I take back, I lose the game. So I immediately took his b4 pawn. By the way, he's getting very low on time. I got down to like 26 minutes or 25 minutes at this point. He was down to 12 minutes, I think. 12 minutes already. And remember, you don't get bonus time, so he is low on time. Yeah, after c takes on b4, we kind of banged this out really quickly. He dropped bishop to d6, which makes sense. He's now attacking the pawn, and by virtue of that, the rook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically, material is even. At the moment, I'm bearing down on the pawn. And did I not play it? I'm sure I played winning the exchange here. I'm sure I did. Didn't I? This is what I was going for the whole time. Bishop d6. Bishop g4. What? Okay, there must have been an error in... Oh, you know why? Because he doesn't play... No, he played here. Hold on. Let me look at the score sheet. This all got messed up, as you can tell, and I'm trying to just, ignore that. He played bishop e4 on move 20. I played c3. He played d5 here. Yes, he played d5 here. Yeah, this is where I made all those calculations. And when he does that, he shuts down my attack on the f-pawn. Yes, okay, d5. So, yeah. Okay, I played bishop b3, thinking I need to back it off and still maintain all the pressure, because I'm still attacking his knight here. And if I ever get the d-pawn, again, take with a knight, take with a bishop, take with a bishop, I've now opened up my pieces, and he's in a lot of trouble. And this is where he takes. Yeah, and we play out this position. Obviously, he's still threatening the same things. I take back. Oops, can't take back because then he would, fork me. So I take here, and this is the position where where he plays bishop to d6. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Because now I don't have, because he'd slammed this forward, I don't have this fork. That's right. Yeah, I'd spent all this time calculating everything, and I was, kind of upset. So I thought that the only thing I need to play for, the only thing I can do is counterplay. Like, I need to activate. And so I played bishop a4, thinking that if he takes, I'll take. And I can take this with check with either piece, and I can stop an attack in its tracks. I think my man here was inaccurate. He starts getting low on time. And he actually plays b takes on b4. Bishop takes on b4. So not surprisingly, I take his rook with my b. The two b's down the hall, something like that. And bishop takes on e8. Shockingly, I assumed, for the record, he takes back with the queen. I assumed he was going to take my rook, and then I was going to check him. And then I thought he was going to take, I was going to take, he was going to move, and then I was going to take this piece. And I thought I was just up a piece there. I did see, he didn't see this after the game, I did see if I check him here, he can actually go, what's it called? King move over. The reason why is because now if I take his piece, he can just take back with a bishop. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I saw this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I thought this was dead even. He was saying though that over here, if he takes with the, if he takes the rook, he thought that I have bishop check, but I don't. Yeah, no, I definitely don't, because he can just run. So yeah, those are the lines. So I did see that, but I thought that was like equal. But to my surprise, he doesn't do that. He takes my bishop. And he's like low on time, and he's giving me the exchange, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell, buddy? Like, you gave me an exchange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously, my rook is under attack. If I go there, it dies. If I go there, it dies. If I go here, it does protect this pawn. If I go here, it's out of play. If I go here, it's dangerous. And I didn't know, and I deep tanked. Should I play rook a2? Or should I play rook takes on a6? I didn't think this worked because I saw, tactics. I saw he has bishop d3, forking both, all right? I would do something like, I don't know, rook to f6, he would take, and then I would take. And I saw this position, and obviously this is not good for me. This isn't anything special. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I did see that, but he thought that and that's why I didn't think I could take the pawn. So that's why I played rook a2, because I thought I'm up the exchange. Like, in this endgame, I'm probably winning. And unfortunately, it's true I maintain the exchange, but at what cost? And, when you play a good move, sometimes you miss the main move that they're going for, and that is queen c6. And as soon as this is hit, I think to myself, oh, shit, I'm in trouble. I can't move there. It's being taken away. Can't move there. It's being taken away. Can't block with my queen, because then he mates me. I literally have one move and one move only. That's knight c3. And not surprisingly, he takes. This is where I do another 20-minute think. I told you guys I was on 26 minutes. I didn't spend 20 minutes. I ended the game with like 8 or 9 minutes. I spent 10 minutes in this position, wondering if I was dead lost, thinking if I could take the pawn. And I saw, so for the record, and I also wondered if I could take his pawn, counterplay. I saw pawn takes, queen takes. This is cut off. This is dicey. If I move over, he actually has checkmate, possibly. I go up there, and then he goes something like there or there. And I thought that was checkmate. So I didn't think I could take. I wondered if I had like a funky move, like a b4 or b3. I looked at anything. I looked if I ignore it and I just start running. And I saw. I also wondered if I had anything different. And I calculated here. The best I could come up with was queen check, takes the pawn, move here, and then queen f6. And that's what I played. But over here, I did calculate in this position, pawn takes. I also calculated rook f6, but then I saw that he has the double check of bishop takes on b2, checking me with both. So I can't actually take back. I also have no direct threat, and I'm taking away my checking square, so I didn't think that was good. And all these lines, I saw ways like of him checking and basically winning back a rook, and he was never in jeopardy. So I just went for this because he was low on time, and I thought I had to try something. I take back on f6. This is move 30. And he plays, his bishop is opposite to attack. He can't take the pawn, or else I take, and I'm just, winning. He plays bishop b4, it looks like. And like, I think I'm lost here, of course. The big saving grace is that he's really low on time. Technically, he's got the 2 bishops for a rook. Obviously, I prefer his position. I thought I needed to go for counterplay to try to get my rooks on the 7th and then maybe like perpetual him. I'm giving up this pawn, but for some reason he doesn't take it here. He gets super nervous, and he plays rook to f8, just trying to trade off a rook. I think to simplify the game, he's low on time. For the record, it's worth pointing out, and I obviously saw this in game, if I ever move my rook, he has checkmate here because these squares are taken away. So I can't do that. Instead, I realized that if he takes, I can just take back. I'm going to have to activate my king at some point. If I can ever take this pawn somehow, maybe my pass pawn becomes a win condition. So I play for my outs. I played with my outs here. I play... what do I do here? What move are we even on? Move 30. I play g3. Do I play g3 right away? Let me see. What do I do here? It says rook takes on f6. It's already, okay, that just happened. Rook takes on f6. a6? f6? Something like that. All right. Here I play g3. He plays king g7. I play rook f4, thinking I need to get these pawns together. Like this is forming like again a barrier, and then I have like the 3 pawns against the 2, thinking that maybe I could hold this. Maybe maybe he's really low on time. I thought maybe I could find a way to walk my king over and defend these pawns. He takes on f4. Rook takes on f4. I then go e takes. I wasn't sure what was better, but I did think the 3-on-2 in this position was correct. I play e takes on f4. He plays king h6. He is trying to get his king in here, which, you know, potentially is trouble for me. I play rook a7, obviously attacking this pawn. I know that he's got this move, but at least then his bishop would be staring at the pawns, which is kind of what I wanted. I thought maybe then I could push this pawn, which is what happened. And for the record, you know, he is blitzing. He is down to below 2 minutes, and he is not a fast player. I still have like 8 minutes here, but I don't have a world of time either. I actually have used my time, especially when when I was in such jeopardy, kind of going for this line, kind of opting for, you know, bailing out basically. He plays bishop d6, and also I am writing down all the moves. So there you go. I play b4. You know, my thinking is if he takes, I can take. And if I could ever just basically trade this rook for the bishop and the pawn, maybe I even have a pass pawn. Maybe I have a way to win. And I think I can hold with the 4 pawns against the 2 and the bishop, I think. We'll see. We'll see. Right? Sack at the right moment. That's the key. Anyway, he takes. I take. Rook takes on c7. He plays bishop e1. He's trying to wiggle on in, or at least I thought. I didn't realize that he's just trying to wiggle on over to hit this pawn. I should have realized that. I play rook e7. I think this is maybe a mistake, but I thought that maybe I have a sacrifice, and then I counted it out, and this is where I spent another couple minutes, because he plays bishop f2. He's obviously hitting this pawn. I calculate takes, d5, and unfortunately he always has this move, bishop c5, and I thought that was too easy for him to play. So instead I walk my king up to d2. He takes on d4. I feel like my chance to win are slipping, but I now see a clever, like, you know, maybe not checkmate, but a way to basically trade off all the pawns. With h4, he plays bishop f2. I play what I thought was the only move, which is g4. He takes. I think that he's actually making a big mistake here. And the reason why is I play g5 check. I wonder if he's supposed to just sack. I mean, he definitely is. He doesn't. He plays king. He's like out of time. He plays king h5 here. I go rook takes on h7 check. He plays king g4. I play king e3. Obviously holding these pawns, thinking he can never push. At the right time, again, maybe I'm going to look for the sacrifice. And to my surprise, he plays bishop f2. And the reason why is, well, when I take, he'll take, and I can never defend this pawn because this pawn is preventing my rook. I think this is a winning endgame for him. But when he checked me, I said, you know, he's down to 30 seconds. I said, would you like a draw? And he looked at the clock. I had 8 minutes. He had 30. I know that I can never win from this position. He said, sure. So that was the game. Yeah, I think I got kind of lucky to draw. We obviously have all this stuff. God damn it. We're at 53 minutes. All right, I'm going to turn on the analysis. We're going to try to go through it. Obviously, I screwed up the moves. I will re-enter it for sure. But he also, I think he should have tried to win at the end, I think. Oh, my tea is cold. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so let's play this out a little bit. Good old Trumpowski attack. We have the engine on now. It looks like it's not freezing. That's good. And we're going to see, you know, when we're out of book, which I think is g6. No, g6 is book. B takes. Is that the right move? Oh, it is book. Okay, good. Phew. He takes. c4. Ah, shoot. Computer likes c4. I thought I wasn't supposed to push c4 because I was looking to queenside castle. Sugarman dance on the night of... All right, well, so already this was the mistake in the position. So this was the inaccuracy. The whole time I thought that I wanted... yeah, okay. Well, I made a mistake. There you go. Well, that's what you get for not really knowing the opening, you know? He plays bishop g7. They like me to play e3 here, but I took all the space with e4. I was over-eager, over-aggressive. Computer still thinks it's fine, but already the position has swung over to my opponent. He's played his system, and his system has proven to be good. This is what happens when you don't know an opening very, very well. Shame on me. Shame on me. Honestly, conceptually, though, visually, this move, like, this position looked good for me. I don't get it why it's minus 0.6, so this looks good for me, but who am I to argue? Rook e8. is good. What should he have done? D6. Just to get the bishop out. Yeah, maybe not to there, because I could just win it. All right, well, whatever. Also, I don't want to make an excuse. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but I'm very tired today. It happens, you know. Most of the time, I'm pretty refreshed for the games. This one, I am exhausted. When I finish this video, I will probably be going to bed. Damn it. I just make bad moves, it looks like. Yeah, I should have gone... I thought that this was better. It's not even better. Let's see. I should have played knight f3 for some reason. Well, clearly I don't know what the fuck I'm doing if I'm already just -1 7 moves in. That's a nightmare. Maybe that's why this position was hard to play. I thought I had all these good ideas and stuff, and I don't. Yeah, and even here, wow, I thought I was making the right move, but even here I'm supposed to just castle. Queenside castle. So what happens if he plays, yeah, the computer likes a5. I'm just supposed to give up the bishop? The computer says yes. This was my best answer. Just play the knights. I mean, this doesn't look good at all. This looks bad. I wouldn't want to go into this. All right, well, I played a3. I swear. This is a minus 1.8 position, according to the computer. Holy shit. Okay. Well, I don't feel so bad that I didn't win this game now, I guess. I just had a really bad opening. Wow. I thought this was such a good move, too. Plays f5. They still like e5 best, even though it doesn't work. Yeah, this is a great move. I play knight ge2. He takes, which I saw. Play the only move, queen d2. It's crazy that they think the best response with the other moves I was looking at is e5, which is what I thought was quite bad for me. This line, this sacrifice. Apparently I'm supposed to counter-sacrifice? Oops. Oh, I see. You know, this actually isn't so bad for me. And then net castle. Oh, I didn't see this at all. That's interesting. Alright, well, when he plays f takes, my position is apparently shambolic. He's playing the best moves. Gotta hate when they do that. Plays a6. Wow. He's supposed to go knight e7. And positionally, he's just in great shape with the pawn. Some reason. Alright, well, he plays a6, which is a mistake, thankfully. Phew! I castle. They don't even like castling anymore here. Oh boy, is it bad for me. It's a miss. What was I supposed to play? Queen f4. I didn't think this was good for me, though. Yeah, I saw queen f6. And they think I should just trade anyway. Just trade it off, because my position's just worse. This pawn's getting hit again. And now I queenside castle. The idea I've got these two defenders. Fascinating. Fascinating, fascinating. Alright, well, I had no idea I was that much worse in this position. The computer does not like his plan of b5. He kind of missed the opportunity. They like my bishop d5. Okay, it's a great move. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess I'm battling. You know, screw up in the early game, and, you know, when your opponent plays a few accurate moves, you can get into a lot of trouble. He played e3, which I thought was the best move. Shows what I know. They like him just playing b4 anyway? No. They like him playing rook b8 here. And then I would have taken, I think I said with the knight, right? They still like queen f4 here. Oh boy. Alright, well, new positions, guys. New positions. Alright, f takes. This was forced. Apparently white is better now once he plays bishop h6. Wow, they No way. They like sacrificing the pawn. My move is not bad, but they like king b1. How? What is going on? Doesn't he just take this? Why would he not just take this? What am I missing? What am I missing here? Bishop takes on e3, queen d3, and white is winning. Why? What am I threatening here? What am I not seeing, guys? Please, please, somebody tell me. Let's say he moves back. What am I not seeing here? Now the computer is saying that I just have so much pressure here that there's not much he can do. I always suggested this king h8 move. Oh, I see. And I'm just coming in. Okay. Apparently, this is winning. Okay, I'm clearly not a gifted attacking player. That is for sure. All right, with queen f2, they don't like it. I thought this was a very natural, obvious move. Blows my mind. It's not. df1. Not a move I was considering. h4. Thought this plan was too slow. I did consider this, but I thought that was too slow. df1. Instead, I play an inaccurate move. Okay. He plays queen e7, which made a lot of sense to me, but it's a miss. Wait, I didn't actually play e4. What the hell? It's one of the moves I was considering, e4, but I play rook d3. The computer hates my move. It just absolutely hates it. Rubbish. d e1. Just keep it simple, stupid. Is that one of the moves I considered at least? I certainly hope so. Wow. Alright. It is what it is. I'm going to just re-enter the game because it got messed up, and, you know, we'll go from there. I'll save it as, you know, as it were. It looks like this was a poorly played game by me. And it looks like my opponent missed a lot. I definitely am going to be glad to have gotten the draw. I feel worse now having watched, you know, a bit of the analysis. Looks like this was my main screw-up. I'm supposed to play c4 here. I don't know why. I thought I'm supposed to not do that when I kingside castle, but I screwed up. I played into the system, and I thought I got a good position. Like, I thought this e4 move, striking at the center, meant that he's got some issues, he's got some weaknesses, and I have space. But computer says I'm a moron. Always good. These moves seem so natural to me, so natural that I'm so confused. Like, I'm so confused that they're just, like, not that good. Oh boy, I had been playing so well, like in a lot of my other games and videos and whatnot. I've definitely been on playing pretty well. Not today. Ugh. Bishop e8, queen d3. What the hell was I thinking with this move? Knight c6. a3. I really thought a3 was the best move in this position. I'm not gonna lie. ge2 here. I thought under no circumstance can I remove this with this bishop. Yeah. f5 was brilliant. Great move though, I will say. I really thought I could play e5. And e5, but I thought it doesn't work. And the computer still says, even though it doesn't work, it's the best move in the position. Nuts. So the only move I thought I was only losing a pawn. It didn't seem like a great pawn for him to have, but the computer begs to differ. Play this move immediately. Plays a6. Oh boy. Well, I guess on one hand it's nice that I salvaged this game where I completely butchered it, right? so I guess that's a relief. B5. Ugh. Bishop D5, best move. Alright, at least I can finally make a best move, right? About time. Oh, great move. Thanks, computer. E3. They still like B4 here. Obviously I have to go F takes. No other move. F takes on E3, and then he plays Bishop H6, which is what the computer likes. I mean, it makes so much sense. For the record, I did consider sacrificing the pawn, but I like still don't get why that's good for me. I did consider it. I thought that F4 was like obvious because there was no immediate win for him. I'm head to center. I mean, I guess white is better in this position, so you know it is what it is. All right. Okay. All right. Rook B8. Okay. Well, Rook B8 is not his best move. Oh, it's just, no, it is. It is his best move. Okay. So I'm just out of sorts this tonight. I just was not anywhere close to my A game. That's for sure. Queen F2. No, that's not possible. Oh, I played it, maybe? Move 15, Queen F2. I can't believe this is a bad move, by the way. I can't believe it. It is a bad move according to the computer, but I don't get it. I don't know why I'd want to be in this pawn, this pin. Queen E7. It makes sense. Play Rook D3. I really thought this was such a clever move. Just attacking, rather holding everything together, but I should not be such a pussy, I guess. Rook D3. B4 is now played here, which makes sense. They like E4, and they do like E4. So that was the move I realized I should have spent more time to think about. Oh, no, okay. Knight D1 is the best move. Okay, cool. I blitzed it out. Phew. All right, still got it. Still got the defensive ideas. Knight D1, excellent move. He goes B takes. I'm curious if they're going to say pawn takes or rook takes. All right, rook takes is better, but I wondered if I made the wrong decision here. So, all right, now we're back. Now that the score sheet is fixed, we can kind of evaluate. I went through my ideas in the different position. I don't want to make this video terribly long. It's already over an hour because I'm trying to keep videos to an hour, by the way. That's been what I've been trying to do. But we have a couple of critical decisions coming up, and I do want to at least analyze them with the computer on. So let's at least do that. I know that this was clearly not my best game. The accuracy is going to be brutal, but you know, we still want to get better and learn. So let's at least apply ourselves for the next 10 minutes. Rook takes on A3. He now goes Bishop B7, which is not his best move. They like B4 immediately, which is why I thought I needed to go pawn takes, by the way, to take that away. Instead, he's setting up Bishop B7. Which does seem a little bit slow. He's passing me back. He's definitely making a lot of inaccuracies too. Over the board, I felt like he was playing pretty well, but he did not play well. I played worse probably. I play Rook F1 here. It's up there. It's not bad. All right, H4 they like. I just thought it was too slow. I did want to play those moves for the record. I just thought they were too slow. I also thought what did I think? Bishop to C4 here, but I played Rook F1, which is still a good move, at least. Thank God. Excellent. Okay. He plays Knight B4 here. And this is where I did the massive thing. The trading is the best line. Oh, God. Let me walk through all of the things, because this is where I spent more than 20 minutes on my move. This is where I really thought was the critical juncture. I played Bishop C4, which is the 5th best move, and it loses a pawn. It's a bad move. I just thought there were too many options here, and I just thought I needed to maintain this diagonal. So the computer likes, just so you all see, which is one of the lines I calculated, Bishop takes on B7, then they go Rook takes, and once this position is reached, what? Just simply playing, oh, I see why. God damn it! You can wiggle in, and the reason why is we're hitting the rook, okay? Like, we're hitting the rook. This makes a lot of sense. So the computer, they either need to play here, play back, or play up. Let's say he plays up, okay? The follow-up here, and it makes a lot of sense, is now I can play C3. I can spike away the knight. And now is when, he's going to go for this line where he sacks, or at least trades. I am forced to go E takes, otherwise, wait, what? Oh, and here I can go E takes, because now he doesn't have this jump, because my queen covers, giving it once I've wiggled on. So that means he plays back, and when we reach this position, this looks totally fine, because I can start going like F5, and I have clear attacking ideas. All right. Didn't see all that, of course. I'm just kind of curious, in this situation, how bad was knight sack? Bad, but not lost. Playable. Interesting. They like queen takes on F7 rather than bishop takes, but they're pretty close. I was going to do this, for the record. I don't think he'd move in, honestly. So he moves to H8. I was going to then take. He was going to take. And they do like the queen check. Yeah, and this is what I was saying. I had no idea how to calculate this. Because I did see this position, at least. At least I saw this position. So, and I didn't know if this is supposed to be good for white or black. And it looks like it's good for black, so I guess I'm glad I didn't go into it. Because, what can I say? Yeah, this is what I saw. All right, well, that's enough there. What were the other moves I was thinking of? I looked at the sack, I looked here, and I looked there. Those were the main moves. Yeah, right? The best move is trading. Queen F3 is playable too. Not a move I considered, actually, but I get it. Because all those lines, it takes away this fork that he's actually really threatening once I push C3. And I get it. Because that was the big thing that I was concerned about. And obviously just moving the queen to support the piece is absolutely an option as well. Missed it. All right, well, nonetheless, I go back with C4. And I did think that D5 was his best move. It's up there. It's pretty. No, it is his best move. And I thought that he was going to play it. When he didn't play D5, I was so confused. I was so confused because he plays bishop E4 first, which is almost as good. So it's not like, yeah, and this is the spot where when he plays bishop E4, I played C3, which is all right. It's up there. And after so much deliberation, I had to tank and calculate. The best move, apparently, is just bishop B3. Did I consider that? I looked at dropping it here. I looked at... Hopefully I looked at that, because that just makes a lot of sense too. As far as the best move. All right, well, nonetheless, I play C3. Interesting game, huh? Computer doesn't like it, but it was the second best move in the position. Now he plays D5. And now is when I play to B3. But the computer doesn't like that anymore. They like E2 is where I should have put it and rerouted. All right, so it looks like I'm just like, my position's just bad, I guess. My position's just bad. I didn't play great, and it showed, right? Yeah, it just showed. I'm making a lot of mistakes here. B takes on F4. Bishop takes on F4, which is his best move. I have to go C takes. Everything else is lost because of the fork. I played it immediately. 23, C takes. He goes BD6. It's the best move. Damn. I could have grabbed the pawn. Possibly. I played bishop A4, which is the second best move. Possibly. Well, one thing is for sure. I didn't deserve to win this game, so that's good in the sense that I'm not upset. Now we're 15. All right. I'm attacking the rook. He should have just moved to F8, which is what we said in the recap. But this position apparently is just smashing for him. It's just great for him. I still don't know why, but it is. It is what it is. Bishop A4. He plays bishop takes on B4, which is still fine actually, but it's an inaccuracy. I then take his rook. I say screw it. My rook. Bishop takes on B8, E8. He takes with a queen. It is his best move. Fuck me. I go rook a2. I thought it was my only move. I'm just lost. Oh boy. He plays queen c6 check. Oh god, only move, of course, is knight c3. It's amazing I didn't lose this game. He plays bishop takes, which is not the best move. He should have just played f5 and locked everything down. I thought if he played f5, I would be able to play queen to d2, for the record. He takes. So yeah, he didn't play great. I'm just out of curiosity. If he played f5, I thought I had queen d2. And then, oh, I see. This is clever. You guys see why, right? Because takes with a queen, takes with a queen, takes with a pawn, and then at the end of it, he's got rook b1 check, opening up on my rook. And then when I move here, boom, he takes. All right, well, I didn't see that deep, of course, and neither did he. He was really low on time. But I did play the best move here, the only move that gives me a chance, which is queen takes on f7. So that's relief. He plays king h8, only move. Here I play queen f6 check, only move. All right, I think for a while about d1. I thought it was mate. Apparently it's not. I go queen f6 check. He obviously has to take. We go take. I take back with the rook. Take. And then, yeah, we're at an endgame where he's just -4, and somehow I draw this, so... Okay. My accuracy was going to be terrible. Let's do a game analysis. I'm glad I didn't lose this game. I'm keeping myself alive to win this tournament. I can't play this badly again. I should have done better, you know? It's a pretty good move. I'm kind of curious if I played good moves when I was kind of, you know, pushing him on time. Played rook takes on a6, which is the best move, basically. Okay, cool. He plays rook f8. As soon as he plays rook f8... Oh, I should have traded. Traded with the idea of going g3 and protecting my pawn, yeah. Instead, I played g3 immediately, which is worse. Because he can swing his rook back. Because they don't like him trying to trade rooks. Played king g7. It's not so simple anymore, by the way. Like, -2, he's kind of spoiled this with only 30 seconds left. It looks like in this blitz portion, I actually did pretty okay. Rook f4. It's the second best move. I should have traded, but the computer actually does like my move here. He trades. He probably shouldn't have. Yep. Yeah, it's because they kept wanting him to move it over to the b file, but he didn't see it. So, barring seeing that, this is pretty good for me. Maybe, yeah, I'm going to have to learn more Trumpowski stuff. Rook takes an f4. I go e takes, which is more accurate. All right. I did calculate that. Feel good about e takes. And he then plays king h6, which was his best move. I play rook a7. They like it. Best move. Rook a7. He plays bishop d6. It's his best move. Of course, yeah, defending the pawn. That makes sense. I play b4. It's my best move. Makes sense. He's going to get a lot of great moves and a lot of misses. So this is going to be, you know, quite the game analysis. B4, he takes, which he probably shouldn't have. This allows me to take on c7. Again, he's still, like, you know, solidly -2. He's just been better, you know, this whole game. Bishop e1 is played, which is fine, but only -1. I mean, again, this is holdable. You know, I battled, I grounded, I grinded, and I held. Rook e7. Computer doesn't mind this move. They like d1 better, though. Oh, rook e7 I went. Alright, well. Bishop f2 is played. I go king d2. He plays bishop takes on d4. I play h4. He should have gone h5 and stopped that, just giving me the pawn, apparently. He goes bishop f2. like g4. They like my move. Play g4. He plays takes on h4. I play pawn check. He should have just sacrificed, I guess. Oh no, he shouldn't have. That's a draw. He goes king h5. I go rook takes on h7, check. He goes king g4. Best move. I play king e3. Oh, and he plays here, and I offer a draw, and it's a draw now. Oh boy, because even in this position, it's just a draw. Yeah, and that's our game. All right. Well, before we sign off, let's at least do the good old game review. Whoops. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I will say this. When people are unrated, I think I messed up his name. IERO. No, maybe that's correct. I have a way of getting draws against all people who are in the provisionals for whatever reason. Malia Soto I drew. Nathan Jones I drew. Yeah, this was a terrible game. 69% accuracy is pathetic. Well, this is the worst game I've played, I think, of all my games. Screwed up the opening because I didn't know it. Horrible middle game. Missed a lot of ideas. And then my end game, of course, in the time scramble, was just sad. All right, well, we're all due for a bad game. It happens. My worst, probably. I'm going to sign off here. Very, very tired. Happy that I drew. But I play slightly better, and I will win this game. So, all right, my friends. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.